Hi, and welcome to Jan's Stampin' Cafe. I'm Jan. Thank you for visiting my channel where I share my love of paper crafting. The card I'm making today uses the stamp set Hand Penned Petals from the 2022 Stampin'UP catalog. I'm so excited to share this set with you because I think it is just right for all kinds of techniques. Notice there are beautiful outline images that can be stamped and used alone, heat embossed, or use the more solid filler stamps to color. They could also be colored with several mediums like watercolors or markers. I plan to explore a lot of different ways to use this set. I like to reuse my sets to get the full value of them. And these flowers are great for many occasions: birthday, sympathy, Mother's Day, hello, get well, and much more. I kind of know what I want to make today, but you'll see me creating as I go. Most products are from Stampin' Up! And are listed below. Today I will stamp the images using the solid stamps to color the flower and leaves. The solid stamps are not totally solid. The images are dots that are sized or placed in such a way as to look more dense in some places. You'll see as I stamp that this is a very easy way to achieve the stamp layering look with one stamp. It is a feature unique to Stampin' Up! Called Distinktive. I wanted a soft pastel color palette, so instead of using black for the outline image, I chose gray granite ink. You will notice that the lines of the image are not solid and have varying thicknesses like a pen nib was used to draw it. That's why it's called Hand Penned Petals. I decided to use the Stamparatus only for stamping the flower stem because the distinctive stamps don't match the outlined areas exactly. I moved the stamp around, trying to see how I want to align it. I turn the flower around, choosing petals that best fill the space. Now the leaf stamp fits either direction, but I see a curve in one of the points that fits better one way. Just know there's no right or wrong way to stamp these. At the end of the video, I will show a close-up of my practice stamping so you can see that the shapes are very loose. I'm using Highland Heather ink, and as I said, I want a soft pastel flower. So I'm stamping off on a scrap paper. By doing this, there's less ink on the stamp, and the image will be much lighter. Look at the first image stamped, and then compare to the second. By the way, I'm stamping on a silicone mat to give just a little cushion, which aids in the ink transfer. I repeat these steps because I didn't like where I placed the stamp the first time, so you notice some of the ink is darker. I left it thinking that it helped the flower look dimensional. I move on to the next flower, and it turns out much lighter. I thought the difference in color was true to nature, so again I just moved on. The green color is soft seafoam ink, and I like it as is, so I didn't stamp off. I turn the stamp around because the curve of the leaf fits the outline better at different leaves. Then you will note I mask the flower to stamp the last leaf. I used a matching marker to color the stem. I just swiped it. I didn't try to make it perfect. I could have even left it uncolored and it would have been fine. I wanted a background paper but didn't have exactly what I needed, so I made my own using the small leaf stamps from the Sweet Strawberry stamp set. They are the same style, an outline stamp and a solid one to color. Again, not trying to be exact with the stamping, I randomly stamped just enough times to create interest. Then stamp the distinctive leaf stamp over each outline. Now please remember I'm just winging this card. I'm filming with a very loose plan in my mind. When I aligned the card base and the layer together, I knew I didn't want to just plunk a flower on it. Then I had a brainstorm that I wanted a latching fold on the right. I should have cut the card base 5.5 by 10 and scored it at 4 1/4 and 8.5, but since I didn't, I'm adding a piece to the side. You will also see as I go that I want the extension piece to be cut at an angle. This stamp set has coordinating dies, so I chose the scallop edge to cut the add-on piece or the extension. I layered the extension with white cardstock and placed the die diagonally to cut through both layers. But it's too short for the 6 1/4 inch length I need for the card, so I reseat part of it for a second pass through the die cut machine. After scoring a 1/4 inch fold line on the straight edge, I trimmed and glued the white cardstock layer to my extension piece, then glued the folded edge to the main card base. I used a very strong glue for this. Next, I trimmed the top and bottom edges of the extension to match the card base perfectly. The flower layer will create the latch for the extension. Any shaped die will work. I chose to die cut it in a circle and add a slightly larger scallop circle mat under it. This will complement the edge I just cut and give the card a cohesive look, even if I didn't plan ahead. I add the background to the front of the card base. I've started adding a layer of cardstock to embellishments that I want to have extra dimension. I picked up this tip from Jennifer McGuire. By adding another layer of cardstock, I get the dimension I want, and the card won't get that waffled look in the mail. As I'm deciding where to place the circle, I realized it needed even more dimension to hold the extension edge in place. So I die cut some fun foam in a slightly smaller circle and glued it to the back. Thank goodness for those nested shaped dies. Now I can add the flower circle, making sure just the edge of the extension is tucked underneath. You'll see the space between the layers is just right, and the edge will be held securely until the recipient opens it. I decided the card needed a little more interest, so I went stash diving and found some retired gingham gala paper and faceted embellishments to add to my card. The hello sentiment was from the Sweet Strawberry stamp set. I promised earlier in the video to show my practice stamping. Here is a super close view. You can see the solid or distinctive stamp layering stamps are designed to suggest that it is painted. I really like this as I think it's very forgiving and doesn't require the stamps are perfectly aligned. I can easily stamp with blocks instead of the Stamparatus. I feel very artistic when I can make a card that looks painted. And you should note that the ink is lighter and darker, creating dimension. I had fun stamping with this set. I think it's a good investment. I plan to create using several different techniques, and I can stretch its use with sentiments for many occasions. I'm looking forward to using the coordinating dies more too. I'll be sure to show them in an upcoming video. Thanks for watching and sharing your time with me. Please click on my face to subscribe to my channel. This encourages me to create more videos, and please check the list below for supplies that I used. And of course, don't forget to visit Jan's Stampin' Cafe Facebook page. Until next time, take care. See you soon.